If you have a man that can't pay all your bills, you need to go get you a job, not a new man.
Can we, bring back masculine men, please? Men used to go to war. Men used to build houses from the ground up. Men used to be productive and useful. Why are you sitting at home playing video games all day, worried about your shoe collection and keeping up with fashion? And, yes, we want you to be emotionally intelligent and understand our emotions and, be sensitive to our emotions, but why are you crying because you stubbed your toe? I don't know what you have heard, but you do not need to tune into your own personal femininity. That's what women are here for. We are here to be feminine, okay? You need to be worried about being a man, please. Why are you not in the gym? Why are you not in the freaking woods, hunting a deer? Why are you not, building a freaking house? Go put on some work boots and go to work, please. Get some dirt on you, go get sweaty. Do something. Be a man. No one wants a feminine man. I'm so sorry. It's not attractive. We need men that we can look up to and feel protected by. Listen, if you're making your girl feel like she has to be masculine, no, sorry. Let's bring back men, please. And thank you.
Call me old school, but I think it's really weird when you girls say that you don't do anything for the male gaze. When you get all dolled up and dressed up and do your makeup and do your hair, that you do that for female attention? You do that for other girls to tell you that you look cute? And y'all calling these men sassy? Okay.
To the guy that hit on me in the DFW area at the gym, I'm sorry, I don't know why I lied. I don't have a boyfriend. I got scared. I literally got scared, and that was the first thing that came to my head whenever you asked if I was single. I just was like, I have a boyfriend. I don't. I'm sorry.
I'm so pissed right now. This guy that I went on a date with said that he would get me Louis Vuitton if I went home with him. These guys, I swear to God.
I think from our perspective, there's been a massive decline in men approaching women. On a night out, guys, their focus isn't on women until the end of the night when they're trying to find a woman to take home.
Gotcha. Right, yeah.
They're not really interested in, even just a little bit of rapport. To see if you vibe, if you've got the same personality, if you've got the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
Even if you're looking at guys, they won't come up, they don't want to get rejected, or they just care more about going to do lines in the bathroom. It's a multitude of things.
Jesus! To this bitch. Jesus! Who y'all talking to? Jesus! Any of y'all bitches, boyfriends, husbands, brothers got an issue, call them. Jesus! Bitch, shut the fuck up! Jesus! This bitch annoying us. Jesus! Trying to call out to Jesus. Can Jesus get your ass some money, bitch? Damn, tell that nigga do your hair. You out on this train looking jumping, pulling out for God. Get the fuck out of here. Because if I decide to get violent, what the fuck is you gonna do? What the fuck is you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do? I don't give a fuck. I'm a woman or not. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, if I decide to cave your shit now, ain't nothing you gonna do to stop it. If you wanna argue with me, you can't do nothing with me. What? What are you taking them back for, Miss? And I swear to God, put your hands on me, I'm gonna drag you on this shit. My mama told me what. I'm telling you right now, I'm a grown ass man. I'm gonna fuck you up. And you're a man. I said I'm gonna fuck you up. But then again, you're being I don't give a fuck. You shouldn't have said shit to me. It's a packed fucking train. It's a packed train, bitch. Relax. The train is packed. Relax. Or what? Who's gonna stop me? You're yelling for no reason. Because you're talking to me. I just told you to leave me alone. I told you to leave me alone mad times. You keep talking to me. Stop talking to me. I told you to leave me alone. There's a problem with y'all bitches. Now that I get irate, now I'm the problem. Now I'm the problem. Even though I said mad times to leave me the fuck alone. I said all right. This bitch just wanna run her mouth. Now she wanna yell at Taka. This bitch can't do nothing.
New question for the fellas today. Why is it that you raise your daughters to be strong, independent little girls, and you praise her for it, and you're so excited, and you even boast about it to your friends, but when she becomes an adult, the men hate her for it? But you raised us to be this way. Can you help me out here?
Where are the regular men over 40 that are just cool, not weird, not podcasty, not hotepy? Where they at? You know how they always like, oh, the cool girls, whatever, they in the house. They homebodies, they don't go outside. Okay, so we've identified where we are. But where y'all at? Where are the cool men over 40? Where y'all at?
The man say, can I buy you a drink? You like, I got a man, but you still accept that drink. Just gave him a door to open that he can get you the
Wait, just for accepting a drink?
Yeah, why would you do that? I'm another man. You got a committed relationship. Why you accepting my drink?
A woman accepting a drink from another man while out is a violation of her relationship.
A drink is a gateway. I'm getting you a drink so I can start a conversation, and then I'm about to ask him like, but you can't have friends though. Cheating is a series of choices. It ain't just you fall into some cat.
Does the look across the room and the smile, does that not do it anymore?
No, because women are also nice people. Sometimes you see somebody looking at you, it's a polite smile. It's like, hi. You don't know what the hi means. You don't know if it's like because if you look across the room and there's a dude making eye contact with you, that means in that moment you two are looking at each other and you both know it. Mm-hmm. So she could be acknowledging like, yeah, I'm interested. Or she could be saying, she could be just being polite, like, hi.
Really? What does a woman have to do to get a guy to come from across the room? Like, so she can no longer like do the smile.
If she's on the pole, she gotta like bust it open. She gotta bust it wide open. I'm $5,000 down, but guess what? I just came up with love.
There is nothing more humbling than getting over by someone you lowered your standards for. What do you mean I'm no longer good enough for you? You were never good enough for me from the start, and yet I allowed you to come into my life and break my heart. The dating world is atrocious. I no longer want to be part of it because it's fake.
Bomba 1973 says, a little confused with her actual value. This is one of the main things that men are so done with. Women think they bring value. All they bring is a snail trail and bad moods. You guys are not what you think you are.
Good work. As a man in an intimate relationship, they do not appreciate an ambitious, driven, successful woman.
Yeah, because it fundamentally...
It does not serve them fundamentally.
It also doesn't serve you in the relationship. And I make this very clear. If I go, hey, baby, dinner tomorrow night, 8:30, get dressed and ready. And you're like, ooh, I have a house showing at 8:30. I can't.
You're turned off instantly.
Instantly. You're not my woman. Your devotion meter is going...
Because you want a woman to serve you in all aspects, essentially.
Yeah. There's a certain component that when you're with a man, you're with that man exclusively. And I think that women go, well, I don't like that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's okay to feel that way. I want you to recognize how you really desire that for your best interest. And if you can, as a woman, recognize that, you will start realizing, oh yeah, my husband, someone's telling me what to do. And there's no liberation in the fact that now your 8:30 dinner plans with a person you love is now coming for a guy that needs a paycheck and a quota by a certain time.
I feel like I just want a man to put effort in for a first date. Matched with this guy, and he's very much my type. Very successful career, very cute, very sweet. And we chatted a little bit. And again, I don't like chatting very much before a date. I just want to go on the date and learn about you there. And we were talking, I love to walk. We were talking about that a little bit. And he was like, we should go on a walk sometime. And I was like, not for a date though. I don't know. I just that feels weird. So I was like, yeah, maybe for a second or third date, kind of being cheeky a little bit. He was like, LOL, walks are off limits for first dates. And I was like, I mean, kind of. Am I being high maintenance? I was like, I don't know. I'm just more of a drinks/coffee person for a first date. Not even coffee because that's just, I mean, coffee is a date, but take me out.
You can just see the wheels in her head overthinking every single thing that's happening in this relationship or this scenario. You said you didn't want to talk much for the date. At some point in time, y'all got to say something. Then you're going to want to spend that man's... I don't want to talk too much. Then you want to go out there and spend that man's money. And then when the man said, hold on, let's see if we vibe first before I spend money, then don't date. Okay, I won't be dating you.
So y'all, recently I discovered this girl TikTok, right? Her name is the Flawed Villain on here, and she's just been going into detail about most relationships with men are transactional. They absolutely want to hunt you, right? So I'm most men are horny as hell, but no, not just men. It could be your boyfriend. It could be your husband. She said, stop having sex with him for 2 months and see how rocky your relationship gets. And I'm I have a boyfriend, and I had to really think about it. Don't think my sister was lying, y'all. No shade, I'm not gonna come up here telling all my business. I just might. I really just might, because it's a really good story time. But it's like, men are so hypersexual, and it's truly sad. Like,
April Lifestyle says, I will not do an experiment with my husband because someone on TikTok told me to. That's crazy. We're making all men see us the same because we're acting like a single mother. A single mother with multiple baby daddies, even when we're in relationships. Bad behavior.
What do you mean? You're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you're single, and you're looking. When are you going to finally look in the mirror and realize that you're the problem? I'm not saying that men aren't nowadays. I'm not saying that women are. Everyone has a role to play. But if you're the one that's stuck on repeat like a broken record, what does that say about you? You know what I mean? So you got to be able to take accountability for your part.
It's funny that you say that, because when I do have conversations with men and they say things like that, that's a big red flag for me.
Yeah. So I don't want to say this, but like if you know a man in his 40s and 50s and he's still single, why do you think he's still single? If you see a woman in her 40s and 50s, why do you, there's and I'm not saying stay away from them. What I'm saying is we need to acknowledge that we're part of the problem, and we need to do some serious self-evaluation. That's all I'm trying to say is we need to take this serious.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I feel like she's proven his point. Why do you think, what part do you have to play in it? Where do you see yourself? It's not just the men that have the problem. When are you going to take accountability? And all she responded with was, when somebody says that, then they're a red flag. When somebody tries to hold you accountable, when somebody even suggests that there might be something that you're doing to keep you in the position. If you want a man, I can see if you want to stay single, but if you want a man, there might be some things that you can improve upon that might be holding you back. Aren't y'all saying the same things to men? But all of a sudden, when it has to do with you, oh, that's a red flag when somebody says it. Yes, accountability for a lot of modern women is a red flag.
I laugh because I am one of the few single people at my office. Everybody is mainly married. A lot of them have kids, all that stuff. One of the best things is that I am basically everybody's project. Like, everybody wants to sit there and they want to go and try to play matchmaker. They want to give me advice. I was getting advice from somebody, and it made me kind of giggle, because the more I thought about it, the more I realized why people this advice, and let me know if you feel the same way. So I have a friend, and she was like, Jennifer, you just have to go up to somebody. You just got to go somewhere, go out there, go up to somebody that you think looks cute and just talk to them. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, you just talk to them. It's totally fine. I would do it. Well, yeah, you would do it because you have no stake in the game. I don't do it because I have all the stake in the game. I have to put myself on the line, and that's scary. You think it's easy because if they tell you no, you're just wingmanning it. You have a husband.
Bill in the comments said, welcome to the life and fears of 95% of the single men out there.
Again, you can tell the women who are used to men approaching them and the women who are not. I'm a married woman, and I am not rude to random men whatsoever. I get approached by men daily, okay? Not rude to them whatsoever. It's never an ew. It's never a if you not married. It's simply put, no thank you. I'm married. I always show my little ring. I'm married. Thank you. No thank you. They call me beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm married. Thank you. You keep it pushing. Yesterday I had this Migo trying to talk to me. Something that bit me, y'all. I had this Migo trying to talk to me. He was like, I want to take you out. I want to take you out. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm married. And he was like, please, 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 please. Kept talking. I put my earphone in my ear, and I continued to walk down the street because I was doing my 10K. You don't have to be mean. All that you can't be nice to men. Okay. And this is the reason why y'all being ditches. It's not right for a man to put his hands on a woman, but it ain't right for a woman to disrespect somebody just because she feels like he'll have a chance. I'm sorry. I think it's nice. I use it. It's like adoration. It's like I'm being adored. Like, they're adoring me when they compliment me and tell me that they want to take me out. They tell me that I'm beautiful. It's like I'm a goddess or something. A lot of you are not goddesses. You're not goddesses. I'm not just going to be mean to a random man. I know as a woman how to tell a man that I am not interested. However, if you were being approached, you would know this. But a lot of y'all aren't being approached, and I know y'all aren't being approached because I see the videos that y'all are making about how men aren't approaching you no more. You're raggedy.
So the other day I was at Walmart, and the guy next to me was like, hey, can I pay for your stuff?
And usually I'm no, it's okay, I got it, thank you so much though, because it's like the thought that counts, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, but no, it's okay, I got it. That day, I was just like, yeah, you can pay for it, I don't care, like, let's pay, let's see what happens. His card got declined 2-3 times, to the point that the attendant had to come through. And as like they're talking, I'm just trying to tell him, like, it's okay, you know, it's a thought that counts, thank you so much, I can pay for it, it's okay. It's like $30 or something, $30 and some change, but he's still adamant, like, no, I want to pay. And I'm like, okay, all right, like, I'm packing up my stuff, I'm about to whip out my card. It finally goes through and he pays and he leaves. I love it when men have shame, because thank you.
So out of all the foolishness going on in the comments, a woman steps up and says, since it did eventually go through, he most likely had the funds, just a technical issue with his card or something. Genuine question. What makes you think he had shame? Maybe it was his intention to leave right after paying from the moment he approached you. People do nice things without strings attached sometimes. And you didn't have to get on here and run your mouth about something that somebody did nicely for you. I mean, I just don't get it. I just don't get the foolish mindset. It's a loser mentality once again. I don't get it. The man paid for stuff for you and you get online. Oh yeah, now take a walk. Yeah, you ain't have the funds to mess with me. What does it matter? Whether he did or he didn't, he went in there and he paid for you. And your response is to get online and try to clown him? What are these? Anyway.
Men like to say, you've really let go of yourself since we got together. I need you to put the microscope away and pick up the mirror. If you took that woman from her father's house and she was on princess energy, hair was always done every week, nails were always done, never needed a refill because she always stayed on top of her nail game, was beautiful, nice outfit, smelling good, and the minute she got with you and had a child, she let go of herself, that's a reflection of you, King. And yes, I'm gonna call you King because you just let your crown tilted and you forgot who you were. How your wife looks is a projection of you. So put the microscopes away. Let's stop being a Pharisee that always have to see what's wrong with others but cannot see what they are contributing to the essence of their wife. You have a big role on how your wife looks postpartum, how your woman looks in a relationship. So if she let go of herself, it's because what you're speaking to her and the energy you are giving her made her do so. Because when you got her from her father's house, she did not look like that. So respectfully, put the microscope away and pick up the mirror. Stay blessed.
I see where she's coming from, but there's something wrong with this comment. I cannot put my finger on it.
And y'all about to call me a pick-me, and I don't care. Men need to start treating y'all. And what I mean by this, they need to start treating y'all like back in the day. Like when y'all was the first one to boo y'all. Like, and just simply y'all. And if they need to start doing that again, because y'all be getting on here with these standards and y'all be ugly, fat, teeth missing, dumbass individual eyelashes, you can't even open your eyes, eyebrows crazy, hair be the baby hairs be in the eyebrows. They need to start getting back on here and roasting y'all back. They need to start roasting y'all back. I need some entertainment and I need you humbled, because men, they're not like the men back in the day. They have gotten really soft. I don't know if it's because they want access to y'all whack. I wouldn't want access to y'all whack, but I'm a female that's heterosexual, so there's that. But they have gotten really, really soft. I grew up in men in my household, and I'm funny because of them. Like, they used to roast for real. Like, really roast you for real. Like, no holding back, nothing. You looked crazy. You was dressing in colors and all kind of stuff. They was gonna tell you. They was never holding back from you. I could tell a lot of y'all did not grow up with that, and y'all need to hear it, because I feel like this internet is very female coded, women empowerment, and it's making y'all very delusional to the fact that y'all are whack. Like, y'all forgetting that y'all are whack when y'all log in on here and put this different character on. And I feel like y'all need to get humbled again. Men need to start being mean again, or whatever they was doing back in the day.
Here is a list of things that I do not do in a relationship that some people may not agree with. Number 1, I do not argue. If it's not going to matter 5 years from now, I'm not going to waste my energy on it. We can agree to disagree and we can quickly move along. Number 2, I do not go to the club. The man I want is at home. He is not at the club. I would rather order food in, Netflix and chill, get my happy ending, go to bed with him, wake up with him, and go to the gym with him. Number 3, I do not drive. Does it mean I can't drive? Does it mean I won't drive? No, I will. However, I expect that my man will drive. And if I schedule a date night for us, I will take care of transportation and I will get us to and from. Number 4, I do not make plans or travel without having a conversation with him first because I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Number 5, I don't just invite people around without having a conversation with him first because I feel like he needs to be comfortable with the energy that's around. Number 6, I do not make new male friends, but I do not get rid of the male friends that I currently have. I believe in communication. Who are the people that are important in your life? Cool. Introduce them. My man should know my man friends. My man should be able to introduce me to his women friends. Number 7, I do not expect him to pay for everything. I'm financially able to take us out and do the things, and I don't put that pressure on him. I want to make sure that the things we do are financially balanced.
The reason 50-50 is a dumb idea is because I can't split labor pains with you. I gotta let the doctor cut me open, split.
Blah, 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 blah. You may never have a child. I swear they make these posts as if every woman, if you talk for her for longer than 5 minutes, she's gonna get pregnant. Some of them couldn't get pregnant even if they tried. But now they're trying to gaslight and whatnot. Oh, you can't split these labor pains with me. Ma'am, this is the first date. What do you mean? Who says we're having children? The notion that men should pay for everything, rent, dates, because this woman might have his child in the future is the most ridiculous take I've heard ever. And mind you, it's one thing. Look, say you have 3 kids. I'm gonna round up, okay? That's 3 total years. You're completely out of commission doing something this man could never even understand. You're telling me that 3 years is worth 40, 50, 60 years of you mooching and leeching off this man? He's supposed to think that's a fair trade? And not only you mooching and leeching, also the kids when they come into the life mooching and leeching off only him. So he's basically on punishment for 18 years because you're on punishment for 9 months. Different kinds of things, I know. But it's like, if we're gonna look into the future, let's really look into the future. You're telling me you want this man to spend 50 years, everything's on his dime, because you were pregnant for 9 months? A long, long time ago? And mind you, this is a complete hypothetical. Most relationships end in a breakup. You're basically saying this man should pay you because this very rare thing might happen. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh, I just looked at her post. She said it violates her birthright? Your birthright? Do we know what words mean anymore?
These women continue to treat themselves like in-app purchases, and it's really weird.
Most of us can agree that we would rather meet somebody in person than online, but also a lot of people don't know how to make that approach to meet someone in person. And I recently deleted my Hinge, so I've been trying to brainstorm some different ways that I can put myself out there, and I tested out a method this weekend that worked surprisingly well. So, and I think it could work for both men and women. I'm sitting at a bar, this guy walks in, and I'm like, damn. That's my type. And I don't even have a type, but that was my type. And so we lock eyes, we make eye contact a few times, and I'm thinking, like, I'm looking for an opportunity where I can go up to him and start a conversation or something like that. And then my friends came up to me and they were like, hey, is everybody ready to go? And I was like, not really, but I guess. And so I thought, okay, quick, on your feet, what do we do? I went up to the bar and I asked them for a piece of paper and I wrote down my name and my number on it. On my way out, I took the piece of paper and I just walked up to him. He was like sitting with a group of people and I was like, oh God, what am I doing? I just walked right on up to him with the note in my hand and I said, hey, I noticed you when I was sitting over there and I was hoping I would get a chance to talk to you, but we're all getting ready to leave, so it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. But here's my number in case you wanna use it. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, I absolutely will. And He did. And now we've been on 2 dates, 2 days in a row. So that was exciting. And I mean, I don't think he's the love of my life. It was nice because I knew I was leaving. And if he never texted me, like, we weren't gonna, like, awkward, like, there was no pressure for us to, like, have this, like, conversation or anything like that. So I would say if you're trying to look for a way where, like, mitigate the risk of rejection or, you know, ways to make an approach creatively, just write your name and number down on a piece of paper. If you made eye contact with somebody a few times, slide it to them, say something cute, like, you know, use this if you want to, and maybe they will.
That's going to be the move for a lot of women. You got to start making yourself known. You got to start shooting your shot, especially with the way things have gone. So get comfortable with it.
This is so controversial, and it's my big hot take, but I do not believe it was ever intended by God for women to have the ability to go file for divorce. It goes back to the garden. Eve was easier to manipulate. The serpent came for the woman. Now look what's happening when we get the ability. We were given the power to go get divorces. Women file for divorce 80% of the time. That means there are far more cases that are irrational. Not only in the garden was Eve easier to manipulate, but she made a decision that ended up costing them to sin against God because she listened to the serpent, right? Women listen to their friends. They listen to their heart, which is deceitful. It says, do not listen to your heart, for your heart can deceive you, right? They listen to their emotions. Obviously, when it comes to adultery, back then, they would stone the person that committed adultery. They would stone them to death. They had no tolerance for it. So today, there is no punishment for those things. So it is understandable why a woman would go get a divorce if she was cheated on. But the reason why I believe it was always intended for a man to make such a final decision is because he is built to withstand a storm. He is built to withstand long periods of suffering. Women emotionally cannot handle negative emotions or long periods of suffering. Therefore, that is why they are more susceptible to break the covenant they made. And so when you hand a woman the ability to break herself free, she will choose to do so, whereas a man can withstand it. So if a woman is under a man and they're both in a long season of suffering, if she does not have the ability to just go break off of her covenant when she feels like she's in pain, then she will be able to see it through with him. Very hot take.
Outside of your man putting his hands on you, it really all comes down to discipline, which we see some of these ladies really do not have.
New debate. If a woman is out and she accepts a drink from another man while she's in a relationship, is that a violation of her relationship? Did she just low-key cheat? Let me know.
A dude in the comments said, no, it's not, as long as her man is allowed to buy other women drinks when he's out. In all seriousness, you got to be careful. I actually had this conversation with my wife, and we were talking about, accepting drinks. It depends on what it is, because, when you're in a bar, you're there to socialize. So you might do karaoke or something like that, and then it might be, oh man, that was so great. Get this guy or get this woman a drink. That's how it is. But if a man from over across the bar, and you know it, you understand what the context is. If you see in context here, hey, this man is not just being generous. He's not just feeling great about himself and just, hey man, a round on me for everybody. You know when he's not doing that. You know he's saying, hey, I'm interested in you. And you accept a drink, I think we might have a problem. Because you're not going to want your man walking around buying drinks for all of these other women. You're just not. That's just the way it goes. You don't like your man giving all of these other ladies attention. That's a form of attention. So if you're accepting attention and you're not wanting your man to give attention to other ladies, then I think you guys have a problem.
Why are women infatuated with thugs and jailbirds?
Combination of things.
One is a sense of protection.
You said it's a sense of what now?
Protection.
These the niggas killing out here. You talking about you? You just said black men don't protect black women, but it's okay to date the that's out here and going to jail and doing crimes.
I'm just telling you. You asked my opinion. Let me explain to you what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, if you're somewhere you feel like that thug is going to protect you. Not saying is that you feel like somebody who can.
Or you gonna get shot because of him.
That it goes both ways.
How you protect? That ain't no.
You said infatuation. You said the reason why. The reason why don't mean it's right.
I love this.
I'm not saying the reason is right. You asked me my opinion. What is the reason for the infatuation?
The reason why. And protect me at the same time.
That's why that ride or die must be. I counted with the signs. I love you, boo boo. So it's the same thing. So I'm telling you the reason why. The reason of things don't mean that it's right, but these are the reasons for it. That's the reality of it. So one of it is a sense of protection, and that's what it is. And then also when it comes to the sense of no shade, women have the perception that you can do the helicopter woman with him because he been at home all day playing Xbox, versus the other brother that's been doing 16 hours. Now you gotta do Superman, or you gotta do the airplane mode. You can't be helicopter woman. So they feel that they're better in that department because they have more time. Okay, and there's also come the aspect when it comes to the fast money. If you got a drunk with a boyfriend, you can hit him up for $200 or $300 real quick, go about your business. But your man that has a 9 to 5, you gotta wait till that payday comes around.
So basically, even though he can't protect me now, when he gets out, he's already shown me he's aggressive and he can protect me. Number one. Number two, if he's out here getting fast money, I can just hit him up. Not saying that it's right, but I can just hit him up for whatever I need. Which honestly and truly, this is the way a lot of women think today. Well, let me back up. I like to say some women. It's the way some women think today. They want that fast money. That's why they're trying to get with a old man that can give him all his money, and he's just basically a simp. That's what they're looking for. Somebody to just give them money, no questions asked. Don't ask me to do anything in return for you. Don't ask me to give you nothing. Just give me all your money and go on about your business. Y'all are playing a dangerous game. It doesn't matter. These women don't care. They're going to continue to do it because they really don't have a lot of discipline. Their emotions are all out of whack. They're really, honestly and truly going down this path because they're not good people.
Out for divorce 2 months ago. I've been trying to look for an apartment, and the places that I'm looking at, I need to make 3 times the rent to be able to rent them. And unfortunately, with my job, I'm a CNA. I don't make 3 times the rent, so I need a child support order to be able to add to my income so I can meet the requirement. And I've been trying to get into some sort of settlement with my soon-to-be ex-husband on that. And basically, he is blackmailing me, I guess. He wants me to sign away all rights I have to his military retirement. He is in the Army. He has been in for 18 years. He'll be retiring in 2 years. And I've been married to him the entire time. So the retirement's a marital asset, so I am entitled to part of it. So I offer to sign away my right to the military retirement in return for spousal support and the entirety of the savings account that we have. I send the proposal to my lawyer and tell her this is what I'm proposing to do, and she comes back and
Jeff Wright said child support is not income and she should not get a dime. Mike said she left the marriage. That is her problem. Fend for yourself. Another Mike said he's not blackmailing you. He's trying to protect himself. The question is, when you retire, will you be giving him half of your money every month? It's a good question, Mike.
Y'all saying pay bills or pay all the bills?
Pay bills. Pay bills. They be like, no thanks.
I don't think a lot of women are qualified for a man to pay their bills. Like, y'all don't bring enough to the table for us to pay our bills.
Oh, Lord.
They rather say I am the table than rather say than what they bring to that table.
I
So
miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up. Protect, provide, and shut up. Nowadays, it's
and we miss when women used to be feminine, fit, and friendly.
Whoa. That last part, shut up.
Protect,
Why
provide, and shut up.
But then y'all say we run.
I can tell you something right now. It is not in a man's nature to sit down and shut up. You don't want a man like that. Number one. Number two, that man might have not said very much, but when he did speak, you shut up. I'm thinking about my grandfather, my pawpaw. This man didn't say a lot. This man be reading his newspaper. He didn't even say nothing. Kids be out there acting bad, acting silly, doing what they not supposed to do. All they wouldn't even put the newspaper down. Wouldn't even put the newspaper down. Just wrinkle it and that's it. Straighten up. Go sit down. Got the message. Daddy ain't playing. Daddy is not playing with us. Paw is not playing with us. We learned it. My dad learned it. We got it. My paw. Another man, a few words. I guess that's just how they were back in the day. You can tell they went through a lot of trauma, obviously, because of a lot of stuff back in the day. Man, a few words. Even when I grew up, my pa didn't say a whole lot. Didn't say, hey, Pa, how you doing? What's going on? That's it. That's it. Come in, watching TV, smoking a cigarette. That's it. Watching old reruns. Walked in on this man watching Goodfellas, I think it was one time. Not saying a whole bunch. But when he did speak, me and mommy not saying a whole bunch. Kids, get in line. That's it. Y'all don't want that. Y'all are out of y'all's depth. I'm telling you right now.
So when it comes to this 50-50 relationships, right? Women, let me ask you a question. Do you understand that only about 17% of men in America, and that's just all men, we're not talking about black men or white men, 17% of all the men in America make over 6 figures a year. And of that, you want to know what the percentage is of black men in America that make over 6 figures? 8%. So what does that mean? That means a couple of things. For one, if you are a woman who wants to be with a man who is a sole financial provider, meaning you do not have to work, and if you do work, then your income does not have to be contributed to the bills or living expenses, right? Then what are your chances when you're dealing with under 20% of the population of men that make a sustainable income in this economy? And truth be told, even 6 figures for one person can leave one to struggle depending on the lifestyle, if we're being honest. Also, let's talk about the caliber of men, right? That are making 6 figures XYZ, right? Just because a man makes 6 figures or above, just because a man makes enough to be able to afford a certain lifestyle or afford to be able to be the primary provider for his household and for his family, that does not automatically make him a good man. It don't automatically make him a good husband. It don't automatically make him a good father. It makes him a financial provider. It makes him a sponsor, if you will. I know some of y'all are looking for sponsors and all that stuff. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the women who actually want to be in a relationship, actually want a husband, actually want a family, and XYZ, but you just want a man that make enough money so that you don't have to work, right? I'm talking to y'all. So what's my point, right? There are men, great men who have excellent character, who are honest, who are faithful, who love the Lord, who have a strong work ethic, right? Who are kind, who are loving, who are generous, who are giving, who are compassionate, who are understanding, who has great communication skills, right? Who will honestly, genuinely probably be the answer to your prayers, but he might not make 6 figures. Or whether 6 figures or not, he might not make enough for you two and your family to live solely off of his income, right? This man may come with the necessity for you two to have a dual income household. And guess what? That is okay. That is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. Our ancestors, our grandparents and great grandparents and stuff like that, they might have been able to have that set up, but the economy back then is not what it is today, first of all. Second of all, there were just different rights and everything else that goes into the structure of the households back then. So we're not going to go down history lane. However, I really hope that you who desire the actual healthy marriage, desire to have your own family and things like that, and a healthy family structure within your household, that you stop allowing social media to influence you and make you think that you're losing out on a good man if he doesn't make 6 figures and if he is not able to fund your lifestyle. Because the truth is, you're going to miss out on a good man with that mindset. A lot of you are single because you've allowed social media to influence you into believing that there's just men ready for the picking out here who got money to throw at your lifestyle. And that's just not the case. That's just not reality. Not here in America, it's not. And also, let me say again, going back to a man's character, you can have a man that is paying all the bills, that's gifting you with things and all that stuff. And guess what? You can have his money and not his heart. My point is, money does not equate to a good man. And so if you want a good man, I challenge you to start shifting your mindset of what you view a good man to be and stop basing it off of what you see on social media. Because social media, to a certain extent, is just social media, and it's not reality, and it's not practical for the majority of the people who live in America.
I think one of the reasons why a lot of women are having a bad time when they're dating is because they don't understand that men and women approach dating from completely different priorities. Women, they are looking for companionship, connection, emotional intimacy, validation, feeling desired, and sex is like a part of it, but not prioritized necessarily, you know, like the O gap, so many women not even satisfied in their relationships, but they're just in the relationship because they want to be in a relationship. Versus men, physical intimacy is the priority. For a lot of them, it's the only thing that matters. They just want a warm body next to them. As long as the physical intimacy part is satisfied, all those other things that women care about in relationships are by default satisfied for the man because they were never on the priority list to begin with, you know? And then I've been thinking about the rich versus the hot versus the ugly versus the medium ugly guy, you know, because women are always talking about if you could pick two or like who is the safer option. Generally speaking, a lot of hot guys or conventionally attractive guys usually aren't that rich if their priority is access to women, because they get access to women just by existing. Women will chase a decent looking man. There is competition for a decent looking man because they're like a rare species. So he doesn't have any driving factor to pursue accumulation of wealth and success because it's already easy for him to get access to women, unless a man has a purpose outside of that, which is rare. But, you know. So then a rich guy, well, usually they're not that physically attractive, not including the very small percentage of men that are celebrities, most of whom are probably closeted. If he's motivated by getting access to women, he wants to get rich so he can buy his way into access to women, directly or indirectly. So then women think, well, let me go for the medium ugly guy. This is where a lot of women go astray because no man is safe, no matter how hot he is or how rich he is, or how medium ugly he is. You must assess people on a case-by-case basis. There is no assumption that makes your relationship or this man a safer bet than any other man, you know? Because women are always looking for different flags. I think all men just start off as a red flag, and then you just have to slowly decide what you will and won't tolerate. They're born in prison and they need to work their way out. But the medium ugly guy is usually the most delusional. Like when I think about some of the men that I've known who would be classified as medium ugly, they resent the fact that they're not conventionally attractive and also that they're not wealthy or they're not rich. So they need to like try and have a personality and like be empathetic and kind to women in order to get access to them. These men are so delusional because I feel like they're the most prone to dating and having a placeholder girlfriend or wife because they have this dream girl that they could get if only they were hotter or if only they were richer. And they have all these requirements for their dream girl, and it's like, bruh, even if this dream woman existed, what makes you think that you would qualify to be her partner? What makes you think she would even give you the time of day or you guys would even be in the same room? Maybe she's out there, but she's definitely not here with you. So yeah, just never assume that there's any marker of any kind when it comes to people in general, but especially men, that will determine them as like a safe bet, you know, because that kind of thinking will always create blind spots. You need to be taking in and being present in your relationships of all kinds to determine your compatibility, because connection, attraction is not enough to sustain a long-term healthy relationship. And I think we're always looking for ways to avoid pain or to avoid having to utilize or expend the effort required to make a healthy or authentic commitment, because what if we committed to something and then we realized that it wasn't right for us at a later date? We don't want to deal with that. But that's just life, you know, and I'm saying that to myself because I have crazy trust issues. So stay safe out there.
Mike in the comments said, yeah, generally speaking, this is not what men want. We want to be loved for us, but know that will most likely never happen. We are loved by what we offer and provide. We also want respect and peace over most other qualities. And of course, she's not gonna listen. You already know that. She said, yeah, because men still want access to women physically in a world where it is unsafe for women, and women bear the burden of child rearing. There are also lots of women providing for men, so feel free to date a woman that's into that. LOL. And then another woman comes up, define respect. Mike says, do I really need to do that? I mean, at its core level, and what I would tell my kids is treating those the way you want to be treated. Showing care due to a person's qualities or character. I mean, they just continue to ask stupid questions, man. These are dumb questions. I guess she responded and said, I did need you to say that. Because most men confuse submission for respect. You guys don't even know what submission means. Like, it doesn't matter what submission is. It doesn't matter if submission was, give me $1,000. Y'all still wouldn't do it. Because y'all don't like hearing the word. Y'all don't like anything that would put you in a position of what you would call less than, of yielding. That's really all it is in a relationship, is voluntary yielding. You voluntarily yield. That's it. You want the man to voluntarily yield to you. When you say, well, let me take the lead on this, he's got to step back and say, all right, go ahead. When you say, I want to paint the house this color, I want to do this with the yard, I want to do this with the furniture, guess who's moving that? He's submitting to you. He's yielding to you. I want the dishes done this way. I want the kids put in this school. I want them dressed like this. He's yielding to you. And all of a sudden, he don't get no respect. He don't, oh, well, what does submission actually mean? Do I really need to actually? All of a sudden, it's questions when you got to hold up your end of the bargain. You guys kill me, man. Get a grip.